universal instruments represent a revolutionary progression in root canal preparation procedures. The basic series is comprised of 3 shaping and 5 finishing instruments. Let's look at the shaping files. Shaping files number 1 and 2 have D0 diameters of 0.17 millimeters and 0.20 millimeters, modified guiding tips, and their maximal flue diameters approach 1.2 millimeters each. Additionally, each shaping file has 14 millimeters of cutting blades. The shaping files have increasingly larger tapers over the length of their cutting blades, allowing each instrument to engage, cut, and prepare a specific area of the canal. Shaping file number 1, or S1, is designed to prepare the coronal 1/3 of a canal, whereas shaping file number 2, or S2, enlarges and prepares the middle 1/3. Although both instruments optimally prepare the coronal 2/3 of a canal, they do progressively enlarge its apical 1/3. The auxiliary shaping file, or shaping file X, has an overall length of 19 millimeters, providing excellent access in restrictive areas. The SX file has a D0 diameter of 0.19 millimeters, a modified guiding tip, 14 millimeters of cutting blades, and a D14 diameter of 1.2 millimeters. The SX has a much faster rate of taper from D0 to D9 as compared to the other 2 shaping files. For example, at approximately D6, D7, D8, and D9, the instrument's cross-sectional diameters are equivalent to 0.5, 0.7, 0.9, and 1.1 millimeters respectively. This file is used to optimally shape canals in shorter routes, relocate canals away from external root concavities, and to produce more shape as desired in the coronal aspects of canals in longer routes. The SX file provides many advantages over Gates Gliddens and other coronal shaping instruments used today. The finishing files have been developed to address the obvious variations in cross-sectional diameters that canals exhibit in their apical 1/3. The finishing instruments have D0 diameters of 20, 25, 30, 40, and 50. F1, 2, and 3 have taper rates of 07, 08, and 09 respectively, between D0 and D3. The F4 features an 06 taper, while the F5 has an 05 rate of taper. These last 2 finishing files are easily distinguished from other instruments by the dual bands on the handle and the black stoppers. All of the finishing files have a decreasing taper from D4 to D14, which increases flexibility. And to improve their flexibility even more, finishing files 3, 4, and 5 have a reduced core as compared to the other pro-taper finishing instruments. Although these instruments have been designed to optimally finish the apical 1/3, they do subtly and progressively expand the shape in the middle 1/3 of the canal. A unique feature of shaping files is their progressively tapered design, which clinically serves to significantly improve flexibility, cutting efficiency, and typically reduces the number of recapitulations needed to achieve length, especially in tight or more curved canals. Additionally, a progressively tapered file engages a smaller zone of dentin, which reduces torsional loads, file fatigue, and the potential for taper lock. Another unique feature of the pro-taper universal instruments relates to their convex triangular cross-section, which reduces the contact area between the file and dentin. Greater cutting efficiency has been safely incorporated through balancing the pitch and helical angles. This combination of engineering features helps to prevent the instruments from inadvertently screwing into the canal. All the pro-taper universal instruments effectively auger debris out of the canal, and generally only 3 pro-taper universal instruments are required to produce a fully tapered canal that exhibits uniform shape over length. Let's look at the ProTaper Universal technique. The following animation will demonstrate the instrument sequence in a calcified and moderately curved canal. As with any endodontic technique, good straight-line access to the orifices is necessary. Following access, the pulp chamber is filled brim full with either sodium hypochlorite or